Alright, what's up everyone? This is own sphere grid, Riku only versus Catastrophe from the Monster Arena, and this is what Riku's stats look like. Everything other than her HP is pretty much everything that you can get from her own section of the sphere grid, but I've kind of used some of the empty nodes in her sphere grid to give her a HP boost, because she can't beat Catastrophe without it. Well, she can use Doom, but I'm not going to use Doom because that kind of makes it too easy. Based on what I found online, this is the highlighted section is Riku's sphere grid, which ends at Bribe, and pretty much any extra stat spheres that you put in between that is fair game. And I've had to use 5 HP spheres, as you can see from here, and you can get those HP spheres from you can get 3 from lightning dodging, and you can get 2 from Lord Ochu in Kilika. So what I've done is not kind of infeasible. Armor wise, you just need Confuse, Poison, and I threw on Auto Haste as well. Remember, Riku has Bribe, so getting items isn't difficult. And for the main section, this is what I need. The break HP limit you can get by bribing shit, who do you bribe? I think you bribe the Malboro from the Calmlands. So yeah, Overdrive is stoic, and yeah, so let's go in. Let's get going. Yeah, I don't know. I got tired of no sphere grid challenges because there was always the HP is such a limiting factor. So I used a no sphere grid file and use that as a base to kind of make some own sphere grid challenges. So yeah, this isn't my original file, but everything that you see in this video you can do from like a normal file where you haven't like, you know, raised your stats or whatever using Final Fantasy editor, FFX ed or whatever. So yeah, this is all possible in a normal game. But yeah, basically while he's in his shell, this is kind of the preparation phase. So you make sure you get the overdrive charging as quickly as possible. And to do that, you're gonna have to mix Hotspurs and Eccentric as well. You're gonna see why I use this, because it's a little bit annoying. I'll explain it when it happens. But yeah, Eccentric and Hotspurs, they both double the speed of your overdrive gauge, and the good thing is that they stack, so by the time you use them both, you'll be able to pretty much charge your overdrive in, like, every time Catastrophe attacks you, you're going to have a full overdrive gauge, so then it's not too much of a problem. But this Poison Cloud thing inflicts Curse, which doesn't charge your overdrive gauge, so you need to be careful of that. Kind of heal yourself before. But yeah, as you can see, Riku, her agility is 60, and with auto haste as well, she's, compared to Catastrophe anyway, she's pretty quick. So you have plenty of time to make your preparations. Yeah, you can't use your overdrive obviously until you've cleansed yourself with some holy water. Okay. For me, obviously charging the overdrive comes first. So, Gambler Spirits, obviously you guys know where to get that from. So yeah, I mean, item gathering and weapon customization is not going to be a problem when you have Riku as your single character. And that's why she's such a badass in this game. I mean, the fact that she can take on her original creation by herself is pretty cool. I would have liked to have done it without touching, like without activating any extra nodes on her sphere grid, but it just wasn't possible. And I'm going to show you why when we get to the next stage of this battle. I haven't sorted the equipment. So obviously, because we don't want the fight to take 4 hours, we're going to use Trio of 999. You can do it without, I think, but I don't see why you would waste that much time. You can just like throw dark matters and supreme gems and shining gems and just everything you have, but I mean that's just stupid. So we're gonna stick to trio of 999. Okay, so I've got one more thing I need to do, and then I'm ready to start attacking. And once I've done this, I get the stat boost as well. I'm not sure if Ultra Null will boost your luck as well, so that's why I'm also doing luck manually. But once you have all of these going, then you can start to attack it. He doesn't have any issues with fire, so you can use fire gems. All you need to do is keep track of how many times you've attacked it, so you know when it's gonna come out of its shell. And before it comes out of its shell, you want to switch to your second armor and be prepared. But with Trio and the gems as well, and because of Riku's agility, you can damage this thing quite quickly. I mean, you're doing 50k damage at a time, so I probably won't need to use any more overdrives, but I might as well just have one more there just in case I need it. The last time I tried this, I mean I've only tried this battle a few times and I've kind of figured it out. I think I figured it out, I hope it works. But I haven't actually beaten it yet, so hopefully I succeed. But yeah, I think on the 9th fire gem that you throw, or the 10th, is going to come out of his shell. So by the time you get to about 8, then you're going to want to change your armor and throw the extra chocobo feather so that you're back in haste before this thing gets going. Yeah, when he comes out of his shell, he becomes obviously a lot more dangerous. And one of the main problems I had was the fact that he inflicts armor break with his first attack. And obviously when that happens, I try to use a purifying salt to kind of get rid of it, but the purifying salt doesn't remove the armor break. And obviously if you have armor break, then your defense drops to 0. And when that happens, when he attacks you with 100 thorns, or it's not called 100 thorns, but it's called 100 thorns. When he attacks you with that, then he just does a crazy amount of damage. So that was the main thing that caused me trouble, and that's why I had to boost Riku's HP and get break HP limit as well. But with Protect and with Ultra Null, and by defending, you can reduce the damage down to manageable levels. But the problem is, and once again the reason why you need to boost Riku's HP is because this guy, even though based on what I've read on the enemy database, his luck should be 15, and yet he seems to land a lot of critical hits with his 100 thorns, so he ends up doing a lot of damage. Alright, so I think he has 2.2 million HP, so as of this point he has about 1.7 left. But once you see the pattern, then you'll see how this battle is won. So yeah, 15,000, that's a hell of a lot of HP, but she needs pretty much all of it in order to survive. So yeah, Toxic Spray, as of now I have Armor Break, Magic Break, everything. Attackingly that's not a problem because obviously I've got Trio, but defensively I'm kind of screwed. But one of the best things about this guy is that he follows a strict pattern, and the middle attack that he does is always Demi, and you can't die from Demi, so that kind of buys you an extra few turns to kind of prepare yourself for 100 Thorns. So he really does give you a few nice little opportunities to beat him. Alright, so 100 Thorns is next, and basically I need to make sure I'm always defending before that turn. Okay, here it comes. There you go. So that right there was actually a critical hit. It wasn't, normally it does like 7,000, 7,500. But he lands, like I said, he lands critical hits quite often, even though I've used luck a few times. And obviously, as you can see, armor break is the reason why. So yeah, that's pretty much what you have to do. And then once you've defended, then you can just start to heal up again. And the other two attacks you don't have to worry about. So yeah, maybe there's a way of kind of letting Riku die and just starting up again, but that kind of removes your trio status and all that kind of stuff, so I don't think you have time between turns. So you basically have to stay alive in order to kill it. And the only way to do that is to boost her HP and, you know, protect, defend, ultra null, all that kind of stuff. But once you've done that, then, as you can see, then it becomes repetitive and you can deal with it. The only thing I would say is that I looked at the Final Fantasy X damage calculator online to see what the possibilities are, what the random variation is for 100 Thorns. And I think there's something like a 1 in 20 chance of it killing me because of the variation in damage that it does. But that's a 1 in 20 chance, and also couple that with the fact that it needs to be a critical hit as well. I mean, the odds of 100 Thorns killing you with this setup is pretty low. And you'll only see it maybe 6 or 7 times, so you should be able to deal with it. But I don't think there's much more to say. You're going to see here, I think this one's a normal one. Yeah, 7,000. So, I mean, if you want to take the risk and try and do it without activating any extra nodes or having to break the HP limit, then feel free to see if you can get lucky enough not to get any critical hits. But I try not to rely on luck where possible. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Alright, we should be nearing the end now. And once I take this thing out, then I'm not really sure. I mean, Riku can pretty much take out a lot of the area creations and the species creations quite easily. So I don't know if I'll show videos of those, but if any other interesting battles like this pop up, like from any of the own sphere grid challenges, which are quite cool, then I will try to post those up. So look out for more of these kind of videos in the future. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.